The first of 3 secrets, which will help you land more clients than 99% of copywriters, is to avoid what I like to call the basic white girl approach. Let's say, for example, you're a white girl trying to pull an NBA player. You're attractive, and with the right famoosing, you can slide into his DMs. But there's a massive problem. See, your Instagram is just full of pictures of you in a McDonald's car park with a vape in your mouth. Your DM is just a simple, "Hey, are you looking for a white girl this week?" What do you think is gonna happen? The NBA player is gonna ignore your message and reply to the girl who's sending him booty pics from the bathroom of a restaurant. So let me show you how to stop being that basic white girl in the car park when it comes to getting copywriting clients, and start to throw down some IG model game and actually get some clients. So most people who start a freelance business or an agency will learn from the same 3 or 4 YouTubers about how to set up their social profiles, find clients, and conduct their outreach. They'll set up the same basic profile, which looks like this. I help XYZ business owners make more sales with XYZ email marketing. And then just the lowest of low effort cold DMs. Here's an example of some of the god awful outreach I get in my DMs from a different type of freelancer, a thumbnail designer. Now brace yourself for this one because I'm going to roast this person. So the account is called Group of Novas, and the bio is boosting your YouTube channel reach with the worst, most bland profile picture of all time. Hey Matthew, hope you're doing great, brother. I recreated your recent YouTube thumbnail. You can use it for free if you like. We can discuss on how we can work together to boost your video CTR. Let me know what you think. Thanks. And then this was the image. This picture is what they sent me as their work. Of course they're gonna offer that for free. It's terrible. The thumbnail's misspelled. They've turned me into an AI person, and if my mother could see what this guy has done to her baby boy, she would be horrified. Then we have the pitch. It's a wall of text with no actual personalization or effort put in. The offer he makes is so vague, and it's framed as something a beginner would write because he's offered it completely free with no actual value. You must understand that business owners are doing everything in their power to say no. If you are cold pitching someone to get their business and you haven't been vouched for, you are climbing a massive mountain to get that person as a client. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get clients through cold outreach, because people do it every day. So now I'm going to show you the other 2 secret mistakes that 99% of copywriters make. Then I'll show you what I did to stand out as a copywriter and how you can apply these to your own situation. Now, mistake number 2 is what I like to call going to the same pond as every other fisherman. So let's imagine you're a fisherman and you want to catch a little trout. So you go on YouTube and you search for best fishing locations 2024. And then you find a YouTuber called Fisherman Gadsy, and he tells you to go to Trout Park because that's where he got all his fish. But you decide to go there, and all of a sudden you find all these other little fishermen also trying to catch the same trout because they all came from the same video to catch the same fish. Now you have to compete with all of these like failed SoundCloud rappers to get the same fish, and all the fish are repelled and they just swim away. You, as a freelancer, are the fisherman. This pond is the pool of business owners that you could potentially work with. And you all have the same bait on your fishing pole. So to differentiate yourself here, you need to go and find a different pool of business owners. Because if you as a freelancer use the same cold DMs in the same audiences as every other freelancer, you have no USP. But what is a USP? Well, a USP is a unique selling proposition. And you need one of these if you want to stand out from the crowd. And very shortly, I'm going to show you how to escape the trap of going to the same pond as everybody else and actually find a huge blue ocean of clients that you can work with. So now let's move on to secret number 3, which I like to call forgetting to stalk her Instagram highlights. This one should be pretty obvious. Everybody knows that the easiest little hack on earth, if you want to impress a girl that you're talking to, is stalk her Instagram highlights. Look for a song or a TV show that she's watched, and then mention that subtly in conversation as though you watch it as well. She'll be like,
"Oh my god, we have so much in common. Let's have 14 children. Boom, boom, boom."
So people know this works, but for some odd reason, when they go to pitch someone that they want to work with as a client, they either don't do the research at all, or do the most basic top-line research and make the least amount of effort possible to get that person's attention. Again, I'll show you a live example. So this is a guy called Abdul Salam, and here is his message. Hello Matthew, how are you doing? I don't care. I don't want to tell you how I'm doing. I've been following you for a while on YouTube and see that you've put a great deal of enthusiasm and share some really valuable stuff around sales and copywriting. How bland is that? Your smart client offer is amazing, and seeing the number of big companies you have helped start and scale, I feel that you can spread that change to even more blah 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 blah, and then he goes on to his pitch. I'm not even going to bother reading it. This is so bad. So if you're going to try and appeal to someone who has a successful business and you aren't prepared to put the research into it, you're actually insulting the business owner, and it's a guarantee that you'll never close that person as a client. Now, I've got an amazing example of how I closed a $200,000 client with a 20-minute Loom video and some DMs. So later in the video, I'll show you that example, break it down for you, and show you how you can use the same principles to close clients as a copywriter like a G. Now, if you're trying to land a copywriting client, you need to understand two basic truths. Number one, nobody knows what a copywriter is, and nobody cares. I say this with a pinch of salt, but if you've done any research on business owners, you'll know that 90% of them have no idea what copywriting is or don't really care about the value of it. They know that they should kind of write something nice on their website and it might make them more money, but they don't really understand the importance of it. And so if you try and pitch them in a boring way about copywriting, they won't give a shit. So you need to package what you do in such an interesting way that grabs their attention immediately. Again, you'll learn how to do this with our final secret later in the video. And the second basic truth you need to understand is that you also need to package yourself as different from all of the other copywriters out there. So instead of having a crappy Canva logo or a selfie in your bedroom, pay some money to get some AI headshots made and create a good one-page website for whatever it is you want to do for your clients. If you want to be paid like a business owner who generates thousands of dollars for his clients, you need to look like one. A good real estate agent doesn't show up with a beer belly and a cheap suit. They show up in good shape with an expensive suit and a nice watch. The reason they do that is because their client is going to spend a lot of money on an apartment, and their appearance shows that they have good judgment. So if I'm renting from a real estate agent and I see that he's got poor judgment, I'm not going to want to bet on his judgment on what house I should live in for the rest of my life. And I generally found that the best way for me to present myself as a copywriter was to show instead of tell. So I wanted to get huge brands as social media clients. And what I decided to do was make social media content myself. And then I would get the clients who wanted content like that, because it demonstrates that I could gather attention on videos of my own, and then I could gather that attention for their ads and make them more money. That's how I landed clients like the BBC or Warner Brothers or Panasonic or Burger King, so many big clients, because I knew what they wanted and I knew how to present myself to them. Now we're back at the whiteboard for solution number 2, avoiding the fisherman's pond. If you want to become unique, the secret is to do your research. So I remember when I started, everybody was teaching cold email outreach to e-commerce businesses selling sales emails. And after a few weeks of cold emailing every single day, I realized this wasn't gonna work. I figured that the offer I was selling wasn't the problem. It was how I was reaching out to these business owners that was the issue. So instead of following everyone else, I went outside the box. I found communities of e-commerce brand owners on Reddit, and I started to speak to them there. Nobody else was doing this at the time, so I was literally cleaning up with clients. And if you want a hot tip on what's working right now, YouTube scriptwriters are in short supply, and there's a lot of money to be made if you get good at it. And if you apply for my private coaching group down below, we're actually showing people how to do this right now. So in short, you need to go and watch all of the big YouTube channels that are teaching you how to get clients, write down where they tell you to go, and avoid these methods at all costs, because everybody else is doing them. Then you can find that nice big blue ocean to fish in. Later in the video, I'll also show you a blue ocean that's working right now. Moving on to solution number 3. I'm going to show you how to actually do your research on clients and close them. Remember, I promised I would show you how I closed a $200,000 client earlier in the video. It was Christmas 2022 and I was in a bar. I went to my phone and I saw a post from a guy who mentored me previously called Sam Ovens. He was selling a program to business owners who wanted to launch a high-ticket mastermind through YouTube for $1,000. I put down my beer and bought it straight away. I didn't even want to launch a high-ticket mastermind, but I knew that if I paid $1,000, I would have access to a community of business owners who had $1,000 to spend and who were aiming to charge $10,000 for their product. So then for the next few weeks, I did my research on the people who were in that group. And then I realized that a lot of them had no idea how to run a YouTube channel. So then I made a post saying, I'm gonna give you feedback on your YouTube channel and figure out what you can improve, and I'll roast it for you for 20 minutes. One of the channels that was posted was by a guy called Ted Carr. I roasted his channel for 20 minutes, gave him loads of feedback, and he was so impressed that he booked a call with me straight away and wanted to work with me. Long story short, Ted needed a sales rep for his company. I went into my private coaching community of copywriters, posted the opportunity, found him someone, and made him an extra 200 grand in about 5 months. So if I were a beginner right now, I would probably take the same approach. I'd look for communities of business owners who are making a lot of money and figure out what their problems are. Then figure out a way I can package it and demonstrate to them that I can actually help them with it. This will take some big brain power, but if you want to make money as a copywriter, this is what you have to do. And earlier I talked about how important it is to avoid having the same offer in the same niche as every other copywriter. The entire video you've just watched is not going to be of any use to you if you don't understand what offers and what niches are working right now. So I recommend you watch this video where I talk about exactly what I would do if I were starting copywriting today. So go check that out. I'm going to go to the gym. I'll see you in the next one.